What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 62nd episode of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. Jeremy Johnson, along with Jim Range and Craig Nasello, fresh back from Bellator, and we are live tonight talking all about bottled and bond whiskey. We've got a new one tonight for our Is It Worth It, but also tonight we have a guest who's going to be joining us, and he is a real rising force in the world of MMA right now. But first and foremost, how you doing, Craig?
I'm fine.
You got back from Bellator when?
About 1 o'clock this morning.
Really?
Yes.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Good. Jimmy, how you living?
I'm doing good.
Good. All right.
I got a question for you.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Since I'm up there in years, how's it feel hitting 50 this year?
55.
I'm not 55. I mean...
But how's it feel? I mean, the grays are coming in, the beard's getting
Fucking
in.
Gray's been there for like 5 years now. Jesus Christ.
But how's it feel, bud?
I'm old. I am old. I will be 50 on Wednesday. I greatly appreciate all of the birthday stuff that you guys did for me tonight. I do appreciate that.
Well, we figured it's the least we could do since we heard you're getting traded in for two 25-years-olds.
I mean, that's probably how it's going to go down. So, you know, I'll still make the house payment. I'm sure it's fine. Whatever.
Well, you're still making a house payment on the ex-wife's house, so I mean, whatever.
Wow.
Dang.
I didn't mean for it to go that deep.
That
Sorry,
was
buddy.
awesome. Wasn't ready for that one. Okay. Yeah,
Fucking-
we're on that note.
Kind of throwing that one out.
On that one
Sure,
tonight,
at least you get a new house.
yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know, it's fine. Whatever. Well, sure, it's cool. But no, tonight, like I said, we have Jackson McVey going to join us here. He's got a big fight coming up in LFA, and that will be a fun one. And, of course, as always, we will have our Sip, Sink, and Save, which will go into the world of bottled and bond. But tonight, of course, I am going to make you a drink that was requested by Craig,
Yes.
who's already had a couple of them.
No, I only had one.
1.5. You had the last of the other one I had. I dumped it in there. You missed it.
Oh, great. Now I got COVID. And COVID and herpes. Jesus Christ.
Craig,
Thanks, Jeremy.
Craig, there's no such thing as COVID. COVID isn't real. Remember that, kids.
And this is a normal conversation on this show. If you don't believe us by now,
Yeah, 100%.
you need to pay more attention.
100%. So, no, tonight we have a fun drink, and I'm going to whip one up for you, and it is, how would you describe it, Craig?
Cherry Coke. Or Cherry
But
Pepsi.
Cherry Pepsi, slush.
Yeah.
It's a cherry Pepsi slushy. Yeah. So, with that tonight, I'm going to make you a slushy. Craig, kind of give them the thoughts on the flavor of it.
Tastes like a Cherry Pepsi with bourbon.
But you don't taste the bourbon.
You really don't.
No, you don't
Because
taste
who
it.
liked it that hates bourbon?
Your
yeah,
wife.
your wife
Yes.
loved it, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off, and I stole her Ninja that apparently she makes smoothies with. So this will be a great smoothie in the morning.
Yeah, well.
Let's kick it up a little bit here. We will use the E.H. Taylor. We're going to go with 2 ounces worth
You're
of
not going to
that.
get 2 out of there. You might as well go with something else.
Yeah, we'll do it. It's fine. We'll see what we get. So we're going to bottle kill here. Look at this.
1 and 3, 1.5, 1 3/4.
Yeah, 1.5. Not too shabby. We'll take that. All right, that will go there. Let's throw in another 1/2 ounce Old Tub just for giggles here.
They're bottled and bond.
Yeah, they're bottled in bond. They're very different, and you will hear
E.H.
about
Taylor
that
and Bean. Hey,
All right. Next, we're going to take some Luxardo cherry juice and a few Luxardo cherries.
you know what would have been good in that?
What's that?
The homemade cherries in the back with that juice.
Well, that's true, but that would be almost deadly. Squeeze of a little bit of lemon, a little bit of lemon
About a 1/2
stuff.
ounce. But I have ounce of lemon.
About a 1/2 ounce of lemon. We're going to fill it up to wherever it is with your cola of choice, which is going to be Pepsi, since we're those people. All right.
Weed does not include all of us.
No, there's one of us on this team that isn't
One
right.
of us is still a fucking piece of shit.
There you go. All right. Give that into your Ninja. I can't believe we're
You're
doing this
supposed
on
to
here.
speak up on the show, okay? Project your voice.
Beautiful.
I'll pass that down for you.
Thank you. Craig, ready for another one?
Yeah.
All right, and from
I
there,
didn't drink all weekend. Well, I had one drink all weekend.
you get a pretty cool smoothie. So is this
You
one
should
yours?
garnish it with the cherry and all that jazz.
Yeah, throw
but
a
we're not
cherry
doing
to
that.
it, throw a lemon in it. I'm going to throw a lemon on it like that. And you've got a pretty cool, pretty easy bourbon slush.
Yeah, you
And
need
pretty
to take the
darn
fucking
cheery.
lemon and do
tasty.
that.
There you go.
Do
Cheers,
that with
all.
the lemon.
Cheers, everybody.
So we're getting this out of the way because our guest is in the midst of what they call in the fight business the weight cut, which is one of the tougher parts of the game where you have to lose, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 pounds in a few weeks, because that's what they do in this game. So, all right, with that, I'm going to bring in our guest. He is 4-0 in the world of mixed martial arts. He hails from up in the Great White North of Minnesota. Come on in, Jackson the Moose. It's not the Moose, it's just Moose.
You call me the Moose,
Jackson
whatever.
Moose McVey, and he's also incredibly tall, ladies and
No
gentlemen.
shit.
I mean, I've never seen Jimmy have to look up at anybody.
And he does
so.
a pretty good Donald Trump impression.
Is this true?
I do. I mean, I think it's pretty good. Other people have told me, yeah, it's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
All
Okay,
right.
let's hear it. Just give me something, real quick.
Well, quite frankly, it's gonna be such a great year. November, I'm gonna need all of you to make sure you show up to the polls and vote for me to keep crooked Kamala out of office.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, he's doing all of the promos
Right,
afterwards.
that's right.
for the week.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
perfect.
All
Okay.
of them.
They're
So,
all.
All
We're
right.
going to animate Donald Trump do all the
Yes.
promos this weekend.
Okay. So Jackson,
Yes.
you cannot have a cocktail with us.
I can't.
So we have to come back on after this fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely have to come back
So
after
when
that.
was your fight?
But-
Couple weeks?
Yeah, it's about a week from now.
Okay.
About a week, so.
Okay, so what weight class do you fight in,
185.
and what do you currently weigh?
Currently, I am 200.
Okay.
Not
Well,
bad.
what's your
15
walking weight?
Walking weight, I'm like 210.
Okay.
I'm not. It's nothing crazy.
No, but so you're about a 25-pound cut.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. around
Not the
there.
worst we've seen.
No,
No.
not at all.
Mm-mm.
You're
Okay.
only 15 out, so that's not bad.
No. So kind of talk about the idea. So you're 4-0 going into this. You are taking on a tough opponent in Ben Fowler. Like I said, I have heard on the national medias that there is some look into this fight, as kind of moving up the ranks in either LFA or potentially
Awesome.
as a back-end call to Contender Series if need be. What do you see coming into this fight? What do you think of your opponent?
I think Ben Fowler, I mean, his credentials kind of speak for themselves. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I believe from what I understand, this guy Chewy, like Jiu-Jitsu, he's a big guy on YouTube. So at least that's what
Like
I've
Chewbacca?
heard. Yeah, that's his nickname. He's big, hairy dude. So yeah. But
Fucking went
he's
completely over his
very
fucking
very
head.
legitimate black belt if you got it under Chewy. Striking is good as well. I think this is going to be an overall really good fight for me. Just to really test myself and just kind of move, like you said, move up further in the rankings.
So, but now you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So they're not.
Under who?
Mike Rogers. Yeah.
Fucking Mike Rogers guy.
Right.
No, you've got a lot of pretty good training partners out there at St. Charles MMA.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
take me through what is like the last week of camp like that you're sitting here, you see gooey butter cake for my birthday, you see
Right.
the food, you see good.
You missed the
whiskey.
tacos and the fried
You missed the
pickles
tacos,
too,
the
so we're
fried
nice enough to
pickles,
get
so,
I
yeah.
appreciate
Those out of
that.
the way.
See, like, I'm more of a savory guy than a sweet guy. So
Okay.
yeah, though that would have been really tough. The tacos and the fried pickles, those are two of my favorite things. for
All right.
sure.
Well, so when do you leave for the fight?
I leave Wednesday, the 18th.
Oh,
Okay, so you got a week and a
oh,
half.
so you fight
Almost.
same night as Invictus on the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Fight that night. LFA does a really cool early weigh-in thing, so it gives us a lot more time. We weigh in probably around like 11,
Oh, okay.
something like that. Gives me a lot of time to rehydrate and eat some good food and all that kind of good stuff. So.
Okay. All right. So tonight, though, like I said, we talk whiskey. You may not be able to partake, but I did ask if you would take a smell of each bottle because we are going to move on tonight to our Sip, Sync, and Save.
Right.
And our Sip, Sync, and Save tonight is brought to you, of course, by Brad Carey at Unrivaled Realty. Check them out, unrivaledrealty.com, for all of your buying and selling of your real estate needs. Give him a call or text at 314-378-6939. That's right, our buddy Brad Carey over at Unrivaled Realty bringing you Sip, Sync, and Save tonight. And tonight we bring you the world of Bottled and Bond. And I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole because Craig yells at me every time I start to go real deep into
That's
the
because you're going to do it for Sour Mash later.
Oh, I am? Okay, I can do that. Not a problem.
Me and you go fucking take a nap.
No, we don't have to. We've
No.
talked about it before.
So Bottled and Bond is basically, in a nutshell, the act that happened in 1897, which established what made whiskey to be truly American bourbon. And so what it is it has to be 100 proof, it has to be aged for a minimum of 4 years, it has to be stored in a bonded warehouse, and it has to be distilled at the same distillery in the same distilling season and left in the same brick house.
And what else is supposed to be used in it? Oak.
Well, you always have to have bourbon. It has to be aged
I
in
know,
a charred
but you
oak
left it
American-
out,
I-
Mr.
hey, I
fucking
didn't know
Whiskey
that.
Stewart.
No,
I
you
didn't know
gave
that.
the
So you
rules.
learned something.
Yeah, I just learned something.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's what makes bottled and bond happen. So all right.
Even though,
so tonight
even though
we're
Jack,
going with
even though Jack Daniels is whiskey
Jack
or
Daniels
bourbon. I
is
mean,
not bourbon.
it's bourbon.
It's not.
Fred Minnick said it.
No, he didn't. He said it was and it wasn't. Fred Minnick is the biggest guy in whiskey, and we had him. on.
Okay.
And it wasn't. So
So basically, what it
Jeremy
means is I
says
was right.
it
Right.
means we're right.
No, I'm right.
If it's both,
I'm always right. Anyway,
God's
moving
the same
on.
Fact,
Hey,
you know,
Kara,
Yes.
is he always
at the
right?
end of the day.
Is he always right?
this is what we deal with every show.
100%. Okay, so tonight though we have E.H. Taylor Small Batch that's brought to you by the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Old Tub from the Jim Beam, and 1792 from Bardstown. All right, Craig, I'm going to let you go first so Jackson sees how this works.
So I'm gonna sip the Old Tub. I'm gonna save the E.H. Taylor because it's a little bit harder to find and it's a little bit more expensive. And 1792 is going to drain because it's not that good.
What was your thoughts on the taste of it though? It just kind of it's a little flat, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is boring.
It-
A little.
This doesn't do much for you.
It was a lot. So
At least for
we
me.
finished that one. So we
Yeah, I
you
can
always have to have
see.
backups.
Right.
Remember
Here,
that always.
Here, we'll move.
Okay.
We'll replace.
Yeah, we'll just replace that then. So, all right. Jim Range, as we're going to hand the first one here to Jackson to
Yep.
smell.
Okay. I'm sniffing this.
You're slipping a little E.H.
The,
Taylor
the
there.
Matt's in your
the
trying to
bottle
drink.
itself, very nice presentation. Very nice. One of the best. I like the old dude on the side there.
Well,
It's Colonel
that would be
Taylor.
Colonel Taylor.
Yeah, Colonel Taylor. Cool.
Edmund
and the,
Haynes Taylor,
And the
yes.
factory on the back here.
That would be the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
Awesome.
Yep.
First and only small batch. All right, very cool. I really like this one. This one's a front runner right now. This one looks like the presentation alone, very nice.
It'd be funny if you just took a big ass drink.
He
out
really
of it.
You know, the way he's holding it, I kept waiting for it.
He's like, fuck it. Mike Rogers isn't watching. It'll be fine.
Okay.
So what do you smell?
I mean,
other than bourbon.
Yeah, that's kind of like all I really smell. I mean, it's very. I don't like. I heard these guys talking like, oh yeah, there's an earthy tone to it. I can't do that
Yeah,
right now.
they're alcoholics too. So.
I mean, it's honestly. I mean, it's pleasant. It's
Okay.
a pleasant smell.
All right.
I was expecting more.
yeah, wait till you
Okay.
taste it.
From
You'll
the
be like,
smell.
God damn.
All
From
right.
the smell, I was expecting a little more.
Is that what
Okay.
you're wanting, Matt? Is you're wanting?
You want to pour?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
like
Oh.
over here hiding his glass. He's like,
Go ahead. Pick one.
Do you want me? All right.
It
I'll
doesn't
do
matter.
the 1792.
Bottled and bond. All right.
All right, hold on.
Which is out of the Bardstown Distillery, correct, Jeremy?
Yes.
So we got Jim Beam with Old Tub, Bardstown Distillery with
Where is Bardstown?
1792.
Kentucky.
Okay.
And
This is
All
all
these-
Kentucky, yeah?
all these are in Kentucky.
All of these are in Kentucky.
My opponent is from Kentucky, so.
Well, he's going to know all about this.
Yeah,
You
he's
can
from
just-
Louisville.
You can literally
He's from
run up.
Louisville.
He's from
Louisville. Louisville.
Yeah. Louisville.
Louisville.
Yep.
It's like, well, you're from Minnesota, right?
Ooh. I don't like that smell as much.
Okay.
The presentation, though, kind of gives more of like a James Bond vibe, you know? Like, I feel like James Bond would be drinking something like this. So,
Bottle's
mean,
a little more fancy.
this is the best
This really is.
summary we've had yet of any.
I like this.
Really?
I like
Yeah.
this.
yeah,
Okay,
usually
cool.
it tastes like shit for me.
I
So.
mean, I don't know. I don't know what it would taste like. 1792. Okay. Yeah, again, like I like the presentation more on this one so far.
Okay. But this was unappealing on the nose. Got
Yeah,
it.
the nose. It was a little. Not a fan of the smell as much here.
Okay.
Old Tub. What do you guys think about this?
So that's
first of
the
all?
cheapest bottle you'll have in your hand tonight.
This looks like a cheap bottle.
But it's probably one of the best bottles you ever had.
So, Jeremy, what's retail on all three of these?
So retail on this bottle is
30?
No. Retail now is $69.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, retail is $69. I actually got this one.
Bottle.
Oh no, I got this one for $79 at retail, and that one was $23.
For
For a
375
yeah,
though,
for
so it's
$375.
Go ahead,
46.
just go ahead and turn him around and show him the one.
So, all right. So just for reference, that right there is probably $2,500.
Heaven Hill.
Yeah, that one. But then if you look at the wall, so the row in the middle, that's probably $3,000 new.
Dang. Yeah. See, again, like every Father's Day, my dad's birthday is actually tomorrow.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? September 10th. Apparently, it's a super common birthday, but anyway, that doesn't matter. It's my dad. We always get him like he's a big Scotch guy, like I was telling you guys earlier, and he's always super appreciative of that. They're pretty spendy. They're around like that price range, like the $70, $80, you know, like the.
That's an entry-level Scotch.
Right? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's an entry-level Scotch.
I did not know
Where
that.
bourbon starts at $10, $15, $20.
Okay. So again, presentation, not the best. Unfiltered for more robust flavor. Before Jim Beam Bourbon, the Beam family made Old Tub. Okay. I like the smell of that one the best.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the smell of that one the
Okay.
best. Again, I can't explain it.
But
It's just,
I'll take it.
it's the pleasant, it's much more pleasant. Boom.
All right. So, out of all of them from smell, which one would you sip every day? Which one would you save for a special occasion? And which one would you pour down the drain?
Every day,
Okay. That's your
special occasion.
That's your save.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm pouring that down the drain. That I did not like the smell of that.
All just off the nose. All right, so Jackson McVey is going to sip Old Tub. He is going to save E.H. Taylor, and he is going to pour 1792. Jimmy Range, what are you doing?
You can go take a seat now. This will take a few minutes.
No, it's not. I'm going to make it quick. We are sinking the bottled and bond. It's one of the flattest, and it's surprising for being 100 proof, as flat as it is. I mean, on the nose, I got nothing off it, and once at the palate, there wasn't much there either.
It had a lot of, like I said, it has a lot of earthy, almost grassy tones to it. It kind of has that fresh cut grass smell to it.
Yes.
It has, for real, it almost has a little bit of an astringency to it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so,
I was thinking the same
yeah,
thing.
100%. Exactly. So, yeah, completely.
Now,
Are you a whiskey stir too, Jackson?
Yes, he is. So,
Oh, shit.
here's the point that you flip the coin. Do you go selfish and sip the one you like the
I
most?
can tell you what I'm going to do. Completely.
Or do you save the one that is really good that you can war with? So, being selfish, because I don't do that all the time, I really like the Old Tub. That's be my sip.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to save the Taylor.
It's the same.
Yep.
So you're saying I have good taste off of just my sniffer alone?
Just off the sniffer.
Off the beak. Whoa.
I just need a little sip.
What is that?
Here he is.
It's your bottle, so no. I just wanted to sip. Here,
That's cool.
just so you get the idea.
Right.
Sniff that one and tell me what you think that one would cost.
Ooh. Okay.
You like it?
I like that. That's a pleasant smell.
Okay.
I'm going to say off of the bottle. See, I'm personally like, if it's going to be an expensive whiskey, I would expect there to be a bit of presentation.
Hey,
Oh, sorry. Pardon me.
Jeez. I would expect there to be a bit of presentation. So
Okay.
I think the presentation wasn't the best. So I'm going to go $50.
Damn, I wish you would fucking
dude, I
price
wish
that
you could
shit
find me
for
for
us.
that.
Yeah.
So Jim Range, what does that bottle cost on the secondary market?
It's down to about 13.
$1,300?
Yeah.
Again, they need to talk about the design of the bottle, make it more appealing. That thing's not very appealing.
But that's the best part about
That's
it.
a cheap one.
That's
Yeah. That was,
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's some others.
Is
that
it
we
worth it though? Is the real
No.
question. Is it worth it to
We
like
actually
buy?
do that in the show. We do one that's called "Is It Worth It?"
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll do that one coming up, but it's not that one tonight. But is
That's
that
one I
bottle worth
chased.
it? Yes.
I chased it. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I got lucky enough and traded for it.
Now I have a
$39.95 is what it
20-year-old
costed.
Yeah.
That's right.
that was $3,000, and it wasn't worth any bit of it.
Lord.
So. But all right. So Jim, to recap one more time, you are which ones?
Sip because I'm selfish. Sink, save.
Okay.
And honestly, saving either one of those,
Yeah.
people are going to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
So I agree with Craig that the A.H. Taylor is definitely the harder to find of the bottles. It has become a lot more open lately. The distributors are letting cases of it fly.
it's the only one of the H. Taylor
It is the
family
only
that's
one of the
readily
H. Taylors at the
available,
moment.
or more readily.
Yeah, the small
And-
batch. Yeah.
So now you're able in a lot of places to actually get these on the shelves now at
I paid retail for mine.
yeah. I did too for my last couple of them. For a while, those were running about $100 a bottle, and now they're about $65 or about $69. So, but me personally, I'm going to sip the E.H. Taylor every day. It has everything you want in a bottled and bond bourbon. It's not overly hot with the 100 proof, but it does give you just enough caramel and vanilla on the nose that it works, and it's got a great finish to it. I am going to save the Old Tub because the Old Tub has a decent flavor that makes a good cocktail for your friends. It works in everything from what we made tonight with this, with the cherry cokes, to it makes a great whiskey smash. The bottled and bond really kind of left something to be desired this year. I don't think that it's not been as good as the past years. It's got, like I said, it has an almost earthy green grass smell, flavor to it. It has a little bit of ginger to it, but it just kind of loses flat.
I
It
think-
goes just flat.
I think part of it too is we've both had the 1792 full proof, which is absolutely
We've had the
incredible.
whole series at one point.
We had them all, but the full proof, the nose is, that's a high proof.
Yeah.
But the flavor, everything with it, you kind of expect that across the whole 1792 lines. They're usually pretty consistent across it.
Yep.
This one comes nowhere near the rest of them.
No, at all.
It totally shocks me.
The 1792 is when the distillery was founded. Yeah, Columbus discovered America, made whiskey, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would be mine. So I'm going to sip E.H. Taylor. I am going to
Doing the
save
math
Old
on that
Tub.
on my head, I'm like,
And I'm going to sink the 1792. Let us know, you guys, in the comments here on our Facebook page or on Spotify or, of course, on our YouTube channel, what you like out of these. Which one is your sip, sink, and save? And, of course, as always, it is brought to us by Brad Carey at Unrivaled Realty. Check them out at unrivaledrealty.com for all of your real estate buying and selling needs.
yeah, B-Rad.
Am I? Well, thank you very much to everybody for the birthday wishes out there. I will.
65 this year.
Yes, I'm 65 this year.
He aged 3 years since the show started.
I did. It's terrifying.
It was the diatribe
It's,
that he
it's-
gave. Took
it's-
so long.
It's that Benjamin Button disease or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, but we're
Did
the
he just make a movie reference?
I've never actually seen it.
well,
but I
here's
remember
the messed up part. Is Benjamin Button got younger and you're getting older.
it. Oh, I'm getting way.
I mean,
older.
he would lose his gray hair and you're getting more as we stand here.
Like as we sit,
yeah,
like I
I
can
see
see
like
it in
4
the.
more fucking pop up in your beard.
I can literally see it here on my monitor. It's terrifying.
What's really bad is the wrinkles around the corner of the eyes.
Oh, you're telling me I am going for Botox soon?
I've seen a couple gray hairs in the hair too. In the hair, not the fucking, not his beard.
What's really bad when you're on the side of him, though, he's got the hair in the ear.
Okay, so let me explain something to you all. My hair is known around the MMA world. My hair has its own fan page. I did not do it. And the main reason that I keep a fade so short on the side and I get my hair cut every week is because then you can't see the gray hairs on the side. I'll let you all in on that little tidbit of information.
You might
So
want to
Jackson,
start
what this
shaving
all
your
comes down
beard.
to, don't ever get old. All right.
Might want to start shaving
Moving
your beard.
on. Moving on. All right, Jim, tonight we have a very special bottle for our Is It Worth It segment. And so I want you to kind of talk about what this bottle is. We're then going to pass it off to Jackson so he can give it a smell.
Give it a sniff.
Give it a sniff.
Snifferoo.
It's not an 8-ball. Don't sniff too
Okay,
much.
got you. I like the
say that out.
outside here. The
Oh, I don't think they drug
the
tested that,
presentation's a little nice. The bottle itself, nothing to write home about. But the presentation on the outside is very nice.
The
Okay.
label.
Right.
So Shanks is an annual release from Michter's.
Okay.
That
Like,
Bomburgers
clears
get
your
released.
sinuses, so
It's
you
a-
sniff it.
And it's a sour mash. It's not your typical bourbon.
Okay.
So what does the sour mash mean?
Funny you should ask, Jackson. So what a sour mash is it means that whenever they are created, Craig is going to go ahead and leave because this will take a couple of minutes. So what a sour
is
mash
awesome.
is
Leave it
that
Okay.
whenever they make the whiskey, they hold a little bit back of the original grains that have been fermented.
Okay.
So it's all fermented in kind of a slurry. It looks like a big pile of oatmeal. And so once they do that, they save a little bit of it. No, oatmeal. Oatmeal. And so they save a little bit of it to start the next batch.
Right.
So there's already yeast. It's kind of like doing sourdough bread. and so it all comes and keeps going. So as you do it, a sour mash whiskey will have a little bit of the old end mixed with the new. And so it always maintains that flavor in the yeast strain that keeps going through it. So that is what a sour mash is. And sour mashes could be forever. Glens Creek, which makes Old Crow, or used to be the Old Crow Distillery, makes a bottle called Glens Creek now, OCD5. And they were able to capture the yeast out of the air that was originally there to continue making the same product. Yeah, it's
how old is the air in there?
Oh, I mean, well, it's an old building, like from the 1700s.
Yeah, it's the original.
Yeah, like late 1700s.
Okay.
So
is that like toxic to breathe in?
Yeah, it's got COVID in it.
I wouldn't imagine that
kids,
would be good for you.
COVID's not real. Remember that. Okay. No.
So
Yes.
on this one, so it's an annual release, so you're not going to find it regularly.
So they only put it out once a year.
Okay.
But what's interesting is the distillery, because they've got they'll put out certain bottles throughout the year. They don't just say, like when you get Old Forester birthday bourbon, the lines used to start 3 days before. Shanks, they will put out in their store at the distilleries daily or every few days or so throughout the year. So it's not a one-time only release. Retail on it's 120, secondary is about 180. Craig, your call. All right.
All right.
No words needed,
I'm
Jeremy.
good on that shit. It wasn't good. I didn't like it.
At all. Why not? What was it? What was wrong?
It tastes like a rye. It's not even a rye.
Okay.
I mean, it had a spice in it. I can't explain what
No,
it was.
I get what you're
It's
saying.
just a little bit.
Yeah,
You get a little bit of
and
spice on
And
it.
it's not that it's really hot for what proof it is.
Yeah. Because what did we?
It's a 90
91 too.
Yeah.
But that's not, I mean, and not for that price. For $120, I can
I
spend
think
$120 on something I really like.
It's kind of the mystique of it, and it's one of those. If you get those bottles that are like you can only see them once a
Right.
year or something like that, you kind of go after them. But as far as taste goes, it's not bad. I do 100% get where you're talking of, and it's probably a higher rye mash bill in it. Whenever they create all the grains and they throw them together, it's rye, barley, corn.
Okay.
And it depends upon how much of those of what the flavors come out to be. And so I think that one probably has more rye than the average. I do think that because it has a little bit of a spicy taste to it. Now, so when we say spicy, we're not talking about hot. We're talking about, think of like spice
Allspice, spice.
Okay.
spice.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got a little more of that to it. I personally, what'd you say it was?
120, 180.
Yeah, I'd go 120 for a release like that. It's got enough roundedness to it that makes it. It would be okay to drink and say I had it.
I just can't do it.
I get that. I can see.
So I
where
think
you're
there's
coming
other
from.
bottles at that price that I'm going to chase more.
100%.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say no if I ran
that's
across
what I'm
it.
getting
It's like,
at.
you know what? I'm going to get it. It's a nice bottle to have that's
Yeah, but
different.
I
People
don't-
don't get to try it.
I'm poor. I don't make the money you guys make.
But I mean, it's fine.
So I have to fucking watch
No,
what I spend.
and it's not swinging saying it. It's,
Oh, yeah, it is. But we'll go with that.
All right. If you have had it, which I'm going to doubt most of you have, because I think you can only
First
get
time
it
I
at
ever
the-
had it. Just
it was
today.
only-
First time I ever heard of it.
You can
No,
only
it's
get
not.
it at the
You had it when
distillery.
we were in Louisville for my bachelor.
Yeah, we did get one of them.
We
over
had
there.
that and the bomb burgers. We tried them at the
Yeah,
bar.
we did.
Because we did not like the bomb
Damn, was I
burgers.
drunk?
Yes.
I may have been.
I don't
mean,
remember.
I think. Look, y'all weren't drunk by the time we got there.
No,
so
he was drunk and passed out and rallied.
I took a nap. Was I good to go once we got there?
That's fair.
Yes or no?
That's fair.
Fair.
All right. Anyway, is it worth it? If you have had it, if you've seen it, let us know, of course, on our Twitter page at MMA Bourbon for all of the thoughts on that one. Okay, moving into the world of combat sports. And combat sports, of course, is brought to you by Yo Roy Tape. Check them out at yoroytape.com.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they suck.
They're just,
They're the
Horrible
worst.
people that own
Yeah,
it, too.
Who the hell
The
buys
owners are
Yo
complete
Roy
assholes.
tape?
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it's fine. So, no, go check them out. Yo Roy
used to it.
Tape, armor up, as they bring us our MMA news this week. Okay, first off, Bellator has made its return to the States, and our own Craig Nacella was there, including working the main event of that fight.
That was a boring main event.
Which one was it?
So talk me through it.
It was Nurmagomedov and Shibley. It was no, it wasn't even grapple heavy. It just no one would fucking commit. It was, I think Nurmagomedov was worried about getting knocked out, and then Shibley was worried about getting taken down. So it was
Right.
one of those things.
Is this a cousin of the family? Or?
I think it's
Usman?
Usman is cousin, I think.
Yeah, he's a cousin.
Yeah. But the most interesting part was at the hotel afterwards when all these people mobbed Khabib. that got a little intense at
Really?
one point. Oh yeah, yeah. They were taking shit and throwing it away from because there was a bunch of autograph hounds just all over him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then Aaron Jeffries and Diego Lima was a great fight. That was a bloody one. I had a lot of blood on Aaron. He's a good dude.
I'm a big fan of him. I really like
He's
Aaron
a really
Jeffries.
nice guy. Yeah, dude.
He's like one of the only dudes holding it down for Canada right now.
Yeah, like he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's a beast.
But he did
There's
well.
MMA fighters in Canada? I thought you
It's,
Yeah,
it's the
Mike-
first time I
Mike-
ever said somebody's holding it down for Canada.
I
Yeah.
thought that they just played hockey, and I don't understand hockey. Do you like hockey?
I love hockey.
He's
this
from
'cause you're-
Minnesota.
It's a
Where's
big.
your accent?
I see. Everyone asks me that too. The further north you go, or like if you go over to like the Dakotas into like Fargo, things like that, you'll start to hear it. But if you meet somebody from the Twin Cities,
Yeah, they don't have it.
yeah, they don't have
It's
it.
like Buffalo. There's no accent. It's a giant.
So-
It's a small Midwest city
Right,
up there
basically.
on the
Yeah.
west side of New York.
So you're
Yeah.
like from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area?
Pretty much, yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
him and Caleb.
Yeah, I grew up in a suburb called Lino Lakes, Minnesota, which is like a suburb 20 minutes north of Minneapolis.
I
So
used
you-
to hang out a lot at a whiskey bar in Eagan, Minnesota.
Eagan, that's actually, I have family who live there.
I 100%. I actually picked my
And
stays
we got
up that area
pictures
just to
every
go to this
time
bar.
from
Cool.
them.
Did
Nice.
you? Now you used to train with Caitlin Young a lot, right?
I have trained with Caitlin quite a bit. She wasn't a part of like the big my like me coming up. The
Okay.
guy I trained with the most, his name was Ben Newman. Ben the Baker Newman, who actually has his own bakery now out of his garage.
That's how you shoot. That's
yeah.
good. Good
It's-
start.
Yeah,
Okay.
super cool. Super cool guy. Really good jujitsu. Super good guard, like his triangles, arm bars. Really a lot of like what he's good at. He just kind of taught that to me, and you know I'm 13 years old, and it's just kind of a sponge soaking that up.
Right
So
on.
yeah,
That's-
shout out to
that's
Ben
cool.
Newman.
So did you watch the Bellator fight?
I didn't. No, honestly, I didn't even. I kind of saw, Usman Nurmagomedov's probably gonna win.
Well,
I would have watched Aaron Jeffrey though. I really like that guy.
Yeah, Aaron's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
I wrapped his hands and worked his corner. He was a real good dude.
so
yeah.
what's next for Bellator, Craig?
London next weekend.
Very cool.
And then they have the big fight over in Dubai.
Wow.
Bye.
Are you working that one?
No.
I would want to.
I don't
That's a
get
long
anything
flight.
out
I
of
would
the
want,
States.
but it's Dubai though. That'd be cool.
That's fair.
I tried talking to him and putting him for credentials a couple of years ago because I'm not taking that flight.
Not a chance.
Craig won't wear the burkas. They won't let me go there.
All right. No, great stuff though with Bellator. I saw a lot of the pictures, Craig. You looked like you knew what you were doing.
Yep.
It was really good. So,
I don't know anything.
also,
Not
and
really.
if nobody knew it, there was a UFC this weekend, which I don't think anybody watched.
Yeah.
So that was Gilbert Burns taking on Sean Brady. Sean Brady getting the win in that one. So Jackson, how do you feel about the idea of how many UFC fights there are now? We have kind of argued back and forth that we think there's too many because you're losing the star power and the idea that like I had no idea there was a fight, and we have to ask Matt half the time like, who fought what.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, I'll be honest. You know, a lot of the card I wasn't super familiar with. A lot of the fighters, a lot of up and comers, and I don't know. I'm kind of a mixed bag on it. I kind of do miss the really awesome fight night cards. Like there used to be some really cool ones. Lately, they've just been duds.
I missed the Gladiator intro.
You missed that?
That's,
Or
when,
like,
yeah.
with
that's
the-
when you
Yes.
knew
with the-
that you were watching a pay-per-view.
Or like
knew the
face
shit
the
was going
pain.
down.
You big face the
100%.
pain guy. Yeah.
So
that's good.
again, we've all established that since this is my birthday, I'm old. And like I was watching back in the old days when it was still like starting at like UFC 5.
Wow.
And so yeah.
UFC 5.
Yeah, and then so it's all just kind of become a blur.
Right.
And so
No, that's called CTE.
well, there's that too. But did either? I know you didn't, Craig, because you were working. Jimmy, did you watch any of the fights that were
No,
this
we
weekend?
had poker
or
on
did
and,
you just sit around and drink whiskey?
I sat around, drank whiskey, and played poker at the house.
That's fair. Okay.
I was.
UFC 5 was Ken Shamrock and Place Gracie.
Yes, it was.
Oh.
That was a beast.
Yep, because that was the special one that they did.
I remember that.
They won off of the tournament, and it
I
was
won
just
that.
them.
I remember the first one. I actually got a couple of Hoist Gracie bobbleheads this weekend.
That's cool.
Signed.
That's
So
very
I was like,
cool.
yep, taking those
That's
home.
cool.
All right. So Jackson, you're making your jump to, or this is your several fights in LFA now.
Yep.
LFA is probably the biggest, for lack of a better term, regional promotion, but LFA is a big step. LFA is definitely the next step is the UFC. So how do you feel though about the idea of like local shows, and I'm talking like the Fireman's Hall shows, as a prep coming up? Did you do any of those?
Of course. Of course I did those.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was, up in Minnesota, we did a couple. There was one, gosh, it was called Canterbury, and that's where they do like horse racing.
Oh, I thought it was weed and...
No.
Okay.
No, Canterbury.
Weed and fighting.
No.
Good. All right, continue.
Unfortunately, no. But yeah, we had the horse racing track. We had fights there. There have been.
We were fighting a parking garage.
I have not fought in a parking garage. I have fought at like a veterans hall. Fought in one of those.
Yeah.
That was really
Have you
hard to
fought
get
in a
warmed up in. No, that would be really cool though. I'd be down for that.
Who did that in Kansas City?
No, we did it here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mann did it down
in a
Crystal
cave?
City.
Someone did it in St. Louis. Someone did it in Kansas City too, I
Yeah,
thought.
there was one of them that they
Cool.
did in Kansas City. They did
Yeah.
one too. And I mean, we're talking like a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
that's cool though.
My first fights were in a parking garage, Matt.
for real.
His
I
brother.
mean, I'll be honest
Yeah.
though, like even locally speaking, like Shamrock, like last weekend or last Saturday, we had 6 guys from St. Charles MMA. We did really awesome. We went like 5-1.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not
really,
bad at
really
all.
well. Yeah.
It's a good showing.
Yeah, it's a really good showing. So, all right. So tell me, what do you expect to see out of this fight? Number 1, tell me how the fight goes, and number 2, tell me what happens afterwards.
I think this is gonna be a hard-fought, gritty, bloody fight. That's what I think it's gonna be.
Okay.
I have a wedding the next day, so we're hoping that my face doesn't get too marked up.
it
No,
your-
I'm
are
not.
you in
it?
I'm not. No, I'm not in it.
I was gonna say,
Then who
don't-
cares if
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
marked up?
Exactly. That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't matter.
I was gonna
You
say,
know,
don't fall into that trap.
It's for my mom. You know, she doesn't like seeing her face, her baby's face all marked up and stuff.
Aw.
Right?
She can get over it.
Yeah. It's my mom though, dude.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
fair, because his mom still watches the
Yeah,
show.
My mom
which
watches
is really
the show, so
I
Yeah,
gave him
I know
trouble.
it.
He's 65, right?
2.
Okay, I'm just asking. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
No,
I'm not as old as
65 now.
Jeremy yet.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys. I have one final question.
No one
this
cares
evening.
about Jake Paul.
What's that?
No one cares about Jake Paul.
This actually isn't about Jake Paul. This
Okay.
is actually very timely to today.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
So, today we found out the passing. Did we hear about this one? Do we all feel bad about
Earl
this?
Jones.
James Earl Jones passed away today. So, with my last and final question, what is your favorite James Earl Jones movie?
Star Wars. Come on.
I mean, it's iconic.
Like,
Okay.
Star Wars.
he's
But
the voice of Darth Vader.
what about this though? Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Okay.
I
King
sent
Jaffe
the
Joffer,
video
though.
and get his
That
head
was
chopped
mine.
off.
King Jaffe Joffer.
Yep.
though, is-
Yeah.
Coming to America, the
Coming to
greatest thing
America.
ever.
But he
That-
is iconic. He,
Field of Dreams.
Never seen it.
I actually never seen that either.
I saw Star Wars and I saw Coming to America.
And one of his coolest
never seen the other
roles was in Sandlot when he
There's
played
a
the
running
blind guy
joke
with the
that I don't
dog.
get to watch
Yeah.
movies.
No,
Really?
his coolest
Yeah,
role
yeah.
was playing Darth Vader.
Never seen
Let's get it right.
Really?
it. Yeah, at all.
Voice Darth Vader.
Don't matter. He was Darth Vader.
Can you imagine James Earl Jones? It
doesn't matter, he-
actually being
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
His
It's
voice.
a size. It
More
looks like
importantly-
Yoda.
No,
Right.
more importantly, what would Donald Trump sound like if he played Darth Vader?
Luke, I am your father.
Stormy Daniels.
However, you ran away. People took you away from me. It's not fair. You and I can rule the galaxy together. It's going to be so big. It's going to be so great.
I hope Stacy's still watching. She
It's gonna be
was watching.
massive.
Okay, that was awesome.
Thank you.
I didn't even plan that, and that was amazing.
you.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, of course, for joining us. Yes, Matt, you were pointing like you had something one more time to say. Go for it.
James Earl Jones was also in The Lion King.
Never seen
Oh,
it.
Mufasa!
Yeah. he's
Yeah.
Mufasa.
Oh my gosh, how can I
Have I
forget
seen? I've
that,
never seen
dude?
that.
Oh no, that's my pick, Mufasa. Definitely.
I said that one.
Yeah, that's my pick.
He's not Musa. If we're gonna go there, then he
Oh,
didn't.
boy.
He didn't play Musa. Whatever.
You
the
can't
fuck-
even say
Yeah,
it.
come on, man.
Mufasa.
Get your words
Because
together.
it's a cartoon.
That's a weak excuse. That's weak.
Someone just said he didn't play fucking Darth Vader.
Ooh.
All
No,
right.
he said he voiced it.
Okay,
he
let us know
voiced
in the
Mustafa.
comments what is your favorite
Or
James
whoever the
Earl
fuck it
Jones
is.
movie, and we
Mufasa?
will make
Is
a
it?
poll. I tell you
I
what, we will
don't
do a
think I've ever
poll
seen that
on
movie
Twitter.
either.
What was your favorite James Earl Jones movie? We'll go Mufasa, we'll go Darth Vader, and we'll go King Jaffe Joffer.
Well to do.
Who?
Conan.
What's Conan?
Conan the
Conan
Barbarian.
with Schwarzenegger.
It's a really shitty movie.
No, it's not.
It's not a
So
shitty movie.
bad.
It's so good.
It's
so
a great
bad.
movie.
It's so bad.
Come on.
Craig's a
seen it.
hater.
Like
man.
Arnold doesn't speak, and I like
Craig's
when
a
Arnold
hater,
speaks because
man.
it's funny.
The best.
He was.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Best of the Best is?
Karate
It was a karate movie with fucking
From 89.
what's Eric
I was 22 then.
Eric Roberts.
Roberts.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
You were 22.
No.
Okay.
I keep getting older from Craig over here. So.
Got you.
All right, guys. Let us know. Like I said, we'll put a Twitter
Every
poll
year
out.
it's a 5-year. It's
Yeah,
a 5-year.
every time it's a 5-year difference.
It's a
so-
5-year difference every time I post
Yeah,
something.
100%. So, all right, guys. Thank you again, Jackson McVey. Tell them how they can find you on social media and tell them how they can watch your fight coming up.
Well, you can watch my fight on YouTube, I believe. It should be on the broadcasted preliminary fights for LFA,
YouTube and Pornhub.
I believe. Not Pornhub.
I wasn't ready for that, Craig. Thanks.
Not Pornhub. And then you can find me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. I do not have a Twitter. But on
You're not set up
Instagram,
on
Jackson
that.
McVey, MMA, all one word. And then on Facebook, just type in Jackson McVey.
TikTok.
Moose Mountain. Moose_mountain. Boom.
All right.
Boom.
Well, there you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you
Got
so
the
much.
reds.
Jackson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For all of us here at the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society, we'll see you next time.
Cheers, everybody.
Shaka.